मार्का हक के 1 साल मुकम्मल होने पर तकरीब जारी है। वज़ीर इत्तलात अता तारर इस वक्त तकरीब से खिताब कर रहे हैं।
As usual, there was a public school, there were shepherds, there were people who were talking to each other, and we exposed India's propaganda during that visit. And this visit was so successful that subsequently we had planned to visit Muridke and Bahawalpur the following day. And before we could take our flight to Lahore and travel to Muridke and then go to Bahawalpur, where India had alleged there were other terrorist activities going on that very night came a cowardly attack from our eastern neighbor. Now, when this whole episode started, India's whole premise of aggression was based on propaganda and fiction. What was our response in the strategic narrative domain? Because you see, before the actual battle comes the battle of narratives. And it is extremely important to give out the right information at the right time to the right audience. You cannot have a one-size-fits-all solution when it comes to narrative, because every mode of communication. And you must adapt to the particular mode of communication which is required for your target audience. So the first step, because India has always been in a habit of conducting false flag operations. There's a history of false flag operations which we've seen. And these false flag operations are used as a means for aggression and for attacking Pakistan. Because till date, after 78 years, almost 8 decades now, India still has trouble digesting the two-nation theory. Because the creation of Pakistan, with every passing day, is gaining more strength. The basis for the creation of Pakistan, the two-nation theory, is getting stronger with every passing day. And we've seen the rise of Hindutva ideology across our eastern border. We've seen minorities being persecuted. So when it came to the strategic narrative, what was our first and foremost reaction? The first and foremost reaction and the first and foremost narrative that we built was that India is in a habit of internalizing its external issues and externalizing its internal issues. Now, terrorism is India's internal issue. It's not an external issue. On the other hand, the Kashmir dispute, the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, is an external issue because it is an international dispute. And as per the UN Security Council resolutions, there is supposed to be a plebiscite. The people, the indigenous people, the oppressed people of Jammu and Kashmir have a right to self-determination. So that's an external issue. Now, when a state which is oppressive in nature, a state which does not believe in giving rights to its minorities, a state which thrives on the ideology of religious extremism and right-wing politics and lacks objective clarity, lacks strategic clarity, that state will always rely on false narrative to further its objectives. So when I say that India is promoting terrorism, I have justification, I have evidence to say so. We see transnational regression, we see transnational assassinations taking place of 6. You must all be familiar with the case of Hardeep Singh Najjar in Canada. So these transnational assassinations which are taking place in US, Canada and the UK, there is an ideology behind it. And that ideology is an ideology of terrorism. So the difference between India and Pakistan when it comes to fighting extremism, when it comes to fighting terrorism is that we are a frontline state against terrorism. No other nation can claim or has to its credit sacrifices that Pakistan has made in this war against terrorism. So, starting from our armed forces, no other country has a higher officer to soldier mortality ratio. The amount of officers that get martyred is the highest. So our officers lead from the front. They motivate their jawans and their soldiers and lay down their lives for the motherland.